Top 10 Most Deadliest Sports in the World. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Sports, in general, are dangerous just because of their very nature. They require us to push the limits of our bodies to reach new heights of physical existence. But sometimes we can push too high and, just like Icarus, we can get burned pretty bad. We took a look at some of the most dangerous sports in the world and came up with a list that factors in the rate of injury, the prolonged effects on the player, and how many people die each year. 10. Bullfighting. It's an archaic sport, but it is still played around the world. For some reason, people think it's a great idea to stab a 2,000-pound creature that has very sharp horns and can crush your skull if they get on top of you. Every year, there are dozens of injuries in professional bullfighting. However, that number could be a lot higher because of the number of incidents that don't go reported year-round. 9. Polo. If you think about it, there's a person precariously saddled atop a horse swinging a heavy mallet around their head, trying to hit a ball that's 6 feet below them. This sport does claim lives and causes some pretty horrific injuries for both the rider and the horse. Some have claimed that it is more dangerous than boxing, but we disagree. 8. Rugby. Nothing like a couple of 100-pound men slamming into each other with no padding whatsoever. While we're at it, let's throw some spikes on the bottom of their feet. Does that sound safe? Rugby is one of the toughest sports known to man, and the danger level is insane. Yet, every year, thousands of people play the sport around the world. 7. Jayalai. If you do know what Jayalai is, then you know how hard those rubber balls can be. Now imagine that hard rubber ball traveling upwards of 200 miles per hour. It's not uncommon for those balls to strike someone in the face and kill him instantly. With the sport being less popular now than it was just a few years ago, the number of people playing has gone down. That doesn't change the dangers of the sport. 6. Hunting. It really changes the dynamic of a sport when your opponent is very capable of killing you. For more exciting videos, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. On top of that, hunters aren't very safe. Roughly 70 to 80 people die each year from hunting accidents. The number of animal attacks is really high, but could be higher because of the lack of reporting or people considered missing. 5. Skydiving. You can imagine what it would be like to go skydiving and have your main chute fail. There would be a quick moment of panic, then you remember you have a reserve chute. But what do you do when that one fails? There is literally nothing you can do except hope that you can bounce. Even if the chute works out, you can get stuck in the trees, on power lines, or even get hit by a passing plane. 4. Surfing. Surfers are true adrenaline junkies. Falling into the water from sea level might sound like a harmless thing, but surfers are usually traveling at a very high rate of speed. On top of that, they don't just hit the water, they often hit the reef below. If the water and the reef don't kill him, then the sharks will. All around, you have to be pretty crazy to want to surf. 3. Racing. Racing is an extremely dangerous sport. Imagine crashing into a wall at 200 miles per hour in either a vehicle or a motorcycle. The chances of surviving that are pretty slim. On top of that, the fuel could ignite and then you'll be burned to death. It's a death we wish upon no one. 2. Boxing. Boxing, and its cousin MMA, are sports where literally every athlete player walks away from with an injury. Whether they be small injuries like a black eye or a fat lip or more severe injuries, they can really take a toll on people. Approximately 10 people die each year in boxing from head and neck injuries sustained during a bout. The number grows much larger when you consider the number of people who died after a prolonged career of getting their heads beaten in. 1. Mountaineering. You wouldn't expect it, but mountaineering can be one of the most dangerous sports out there. Each year, there are thousands of people who are injured while mountaineering. Most of those injuries result from slipping on a rock or falling. But the number of dangers in the wilderness is almost insurmountable. Death is common, but more so are missing persons.